All right. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. All right. Today we have a special guest. All right. Mr. Singleton, Mr. Vondell Singleton, was born on the south side of Chicago. After overcoming the negative influences of the Ida B. Wells housing projects, he credits meeting Pastor Steve Roberson at the Marquette SAM Upward Bound program, where he was mentored and exposed to many positive experiences. He earned his Bachelor's of Science degree in elementary education and his Master's degree in marital and family therapy from Oral Roberts University. Over the past decade, he's worked in primary, secondary, and higher education as both a teacher and administrator. His male mentoring program called C.H.A.M.P.S, Culturally Helping and Making a Positive Success, is a beacon of hope in Chicago's South Side, according to the Huffington Post. They have created a film that made national headlines and was featured at the White House with President Obama, and recently hosted 500 young men at their first annual C.H.A.M.P.S Born to Win conference. He also serves as the youth pastor at New Beginnings Church of Chicago and the assistant principal of operation and community engagement at Gary Comer College Prep. Vondell has been married to his college sweetheart, Dr. Patrina Singleton, for almost 14 years. They have an 8-year-old daughter, Promise Victoria Singleton, and a 3-year-old son, Vondell Eugene Singleton Jr. All right. Mr. Singleton, he's a husband, he's a father, he's a teacher, he's an administrator, he's an award-winning mentor and leader. I want you to stand up on your feet now, put your hands together, and welcome with me, Mr. Vondell Singleton. Go ahead now. Go ahead now. Louder, louder, louder. Let's give it up for him. Listen up. On your feet. Attention. Attention. Listen up. Present order. Do it. Order arms. Take a seat.
That's what's up, y'all. What's happening, y'all? What's good?
Good to be here. Good to be here.
Man, I'm so excited to be here. I'm so happy to be here. You don't mind me asking y'all what y'all names are, do you?
No.
Okay, good. So I'm a come on this side to the young ones, and I'm gonna go over to the older ones. These are champs over here. All right, you ready? Give me your first and last name and tell me what you want to be when you grow up. You ready?
Yeah. Josiah Morris, and I want to be an engineer.
That's what I'm talking about, Josiah. Give it up.
Let's go. Let's go.
You can do it.
Jaden Mims, and I want to be in the military.
All right, give it up for him.
Bradley Johnson, I want to be a Navy SEAL.
Give it up. Yes, sir.
Brickman Oakley, and I want to be in the Army.
All right. All right.
Antoine, I want to be a football player.
All right. So you gotta make sure that you keep your grades. Okay, you gotta make sure you keep your grades up. Okay. One of the tenets for C.H.A.M.P.S, and I want everyone to see it. I'm gonna bring it over. We got 3 E's. You see the first one? What does it say?
Education.
Say it loud.
Education.
Everybody.
Education.
3 E's of C.H.A.M.P.S. Number 1 is education. Number 2,
Empowerment.
empowerment. Say it.
Empowerment.
Number 3, exposure. Exposure. Say it.
Exposure.
There we go. Okay.
Anthony Furrow, I want to go to NBA.
All right, let's give it up for him. And you You're the older brother, right? 1 year older. Okay. I'm going to pass y'all the mic. We're going to go with the freshman, sophomore. Then we're going to go junior, then junior. Okay.
I'm Dontrell Hall, and I want to be an FBI agent.
All right. Good job, y'all.
My name is Stride Desire, and I want to be an officer in the Army.
My name is Christian Terry, and one day I would like to be a senator or mayor or president, get in politics and stuff like that.
Let's give it up for these young men. Hey, this is our future. Let's give it up for them. All right. So, gentlemen, I'm delighted to be here. Officer Morris, thank you so much for inviting me. Instructors, thank y'all so much for coming out. They were out at Gary Comer last week. Officer Hutcherson, thank you, man, for celebrating your birthday with us.
No problem.
Yeah, Officer Morris, thank you for showing me where Popeyes was and Walgreens. And thank you guys for being great. The C.H.A.M.P.S program is built on greatness. Say greatness.
Greatness.
Say greatness.
Greatness.
Say I am. Greatness.
Greatness.
In the making. I am. Proud. To be. Who I am. I am. Greatness. In the making. All right, let's start here. This is my Uncle Curtis. Southside Chicago, early 1980s. You can go ahead and proceed, Brother Hector. I'm going to show you some faces so you can get familiar with these people, okay? This is my Uncle Esau, Southside of Chicago, early 1980s. You can keep going. This is my granddad, Esau Jr., Southside Chicago, early 1980s. Keep going. Thank you, brother. Uncle Mike, Southside Chicago, early 1980s. All right, let's see if we can get another person on here. Can't see him. Father, Calvin, Southside Chicago. And go to the next one, watch this. That's me. See a theme? Southside Chicago, early 1980s. But here's what I want you to notice. We in a church, right? So I can use this scripture. Zechariah 4:10. Do not despise small beginnings. Do not despise these small beginnings. This is me, and this is me. Go ahead to the next slide. Let's complete the picture. Now you see it? Complete puzzle. When you take a picture nowadays, a good photographer will tell you to what? Smile. You see anybody smiling in this picture?
No.
No, sir.
Anybody smiling in this picture?
No, sir.
Okay. So when he introduced me, he read where I grew up at. But this is actually a real place of where I grew up at. These were actually real people who were my family members who were in my life in the early 1980s. This window that you see in this building is actually where we lived. We didn't have air conditioning, couldn't afford it. We live in apartment 202, 514 East 36th Street, apartment 202. I remember it just like yesterday. If you notice and look very closely, from this gentleman to this gentleman to this gentleman to this gentleman, they all have something in their hands. A little hard to see. Okay, so you probably can see the beer can in his hand. He's drinking an old Milwaukee beer. It used to be a popular beer back in those days. In his hand. Then next to him, if you look here, you see a cigarette in his hand. It looked like a cigarette, but that's what they called back in the day. It was a joint. Marijuana. Weed. You're saying, why are you talking about this? What does this have to do with C.H.A.M.P.S? Everything. Say this out loud. I am greatness in the making. So my father sent me this picture when I was 27 on my birthday. And he says, I want you to look at the picture and I'm gonna ask you a couple questions. Number one, do you remember this picture? I said, no. He said, number two, he says, where were you at on the picture? I said, in front of my grandfather. He said, okay. He says, I want to tell you something. You didn't know this, but I'm going to tell you. He said, you were always the leader of the family. Leaders always stand in front.
Wow.
You talk about deep. I said, hold on. He said, where you standing at in front of the picture? I said, right in front of Grandpa. He said, you were always the leader of the family, because leaders stand in the front. You would get that later. Here's why I know my father was serious when he told me this, is because at the time, everybody on the picture was dead except for me and him. Now you get where I'm going? Go to the next slide, my good brother. Now, history. See these gentlemen?
Yes, sir.
Ah, I like that energy. Yes, sir. These gentlemen were 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th graders when we took this picture. The orange gentlemen that you see were 5th graders. You see them in the orange shirts?
Yes, sir.
These guys here in the burgundy shirts, they were 6th graders. And this guy back here, he has a dark blue shirt. Those were 7th graders, and the light blue were 8th graders. This was at a school where I worked. And these were boys just like you and I. But what was similar about these boys, all of them were considered bad kids. All of them were considered what?
Bad kids.
They were not bad kids in my eyes. You know who they were? C.H.A.M.P.S. So this was the first picture that we took with this group of kids, and I said, I want you to remember this picture forever. Go ahead and keep going. So this picture took place in 2011. Keep going. Okay, like I said, 5th through 8th graders, keep going. They are all now in high school and college. Say this with me. We are greatness in the making. Keep going. Okay, keep going. Okay, let's finish this out. Success without a successor is what?
Failure.
Say it. Success without a successor is failure. Remember what my father told me? He told me I was what? The leader of the family. And I took that to heart, because here's a man I watched what they call sell drugs. And you heard the word trap house, crack house, dope house. He was trapping. That's what my father was doing in the 80s. He was selling drugs and carrying guns. And while he was holding the gun and the drugs, you know what my father was telling me? Son, I don't want you to do this. When I was 5 years old, he didn't want me selling drugs and carrying guns. He told me, son, I don't want you to do what I'm doing. You know what my father told me? Same thing I told you, get an education. I want you to go to school. And 5, those words struck the more, it penetrated my heart, because I knew my father was a good guy. That was my hero. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Am I right about it? That was my hero. That was the man that I looked to give me support. So at the age of 27, that was the first time I ever saw that picture. Because when he asked me, did I remember it? No. You remember taking it? You don't remember taking that picture? No. I remember the outfit, because that was my favorite outfit, the soccer outfit, but I don't remember the picture. It was just a blur. But you know what? Moments should be made into movements. Say it. Moments should be made into movements. Don't ever park at one-time success. That is not true success. Some people get happy, they hit the game-winning shot, one game, but they failed to realize you're in a 7-game series. Uh-oh. So while you celebrating off the court, you still got to play in another game. Listen to me, guys. Don't get happy when you make one good grade. You got to make good grades every marking period, every semester. You want to go to the NFL? You want to go to the NBA? You know how long it requires for you to master a skill? How many hours? Adults, don't say anything. I'm going to just test them. How many hours does it require for you to master a skill? Researchers say. Yes, sir. Give me the hours.
About like, I think about 200 hours.
200 hours? You think it's 200 hours? What do you think? 17? Why you choose 17? That's just something that just popped in your mind? Okay.
I would like to say 72 hours.
Y'all like doing mathematics. 9 times 8, 8 times... Okay, 72. Okay. All right, try this. 10,000. Am I right? Researchers say it takes 10,000 hours to master a skill. And that's just to master one skill. And if you're talking about being an athlete and playing sports, you just can't shoot all day. You got to learn how to dribble. So maybe you shoot 10,000 shots. That's not enough. Maybe you dribble 10,000 dribbles through your legs. That's not enough. Say this with me. We are greatness in the making. Go ahead.